Hey everyone, today we're gonna be doing a lead code question which is to find length of a last word. So we are given some string word, you can say string S, which consists of some word and spaces. We need to find what is the last word in the string and we need to return its length. So if you see in this hello world, we have world as a last word and we need to return its length, it's 5. Similarly, if I say, okay, there is some string like space fly, space me, space two, space like it is having multiple spaces in between. But if I say space, I will not consider. So word is like moon in this case. So the length of a moon is 4 in this case. Okay. So I don't need to consider space as my word, only the character part. Similarly, if you see Joy Boy is the last word, so its length is 6. Let me tell you the constant. They are saying the size of a string can go from 1 length to 10 to the power 4 length at max. Similarly, a string will consist of only alphabet characters followed by a space. They are saying there will be at least one word in a string. So let me take some example. I'll take one example of each, like whatever given. So our first example was hello world. Okay, I'll say this is some string hello and space or say space world. Okay, this is our string one. I'll say string one. I'll also write string two, which was like there was some space. Okay, space fly space me space space two this one too. Okay, space the space moon and some space and this symbol. Okay, so what I need to find, what is the last word in this string and what is the size of that word. So if I say, if I am allowed to use the inbuilt function, so what I'll do in Python, I'll say, okay, just do one thing. You can type s dot split, okay, and pass like which delimiter you need to find. So see, we are ignoring the space part. I can say, okay, use space as a delimiter. So I'll say, okay, space. This is my delimiter. What it will do? It will give me an array something like this. For this, it will create an array, a part of a hello, and second part is world. Okay, it will give me two characters array. Similarly, for this, I will be getting a character array like fly me to the moon. So this is something my array will get created using what? If I use the inbuilt function split. Okay, if I use this split with some space, it will be giving me this array. What I can say, okay, just access the last character from this array and return its size if I'm allowed to use the split function. Okay, I'm not allowed to use because it's like very easy and basic question. So they are telling us to do in the like without using some special, or you can say without using some functions. So what I'll do, okay, let's have this function again, this hello and space world. This is our string. Maybe I have some index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, if I say, if I start from any character, I'll just keep on checking whether it is a space or not. Once I'll find the space, I'll say either my previous was the answer or either my next will be my answer. If I have any character of after the space, my answer will be the next coming character. You can say next coming word or its size. If after this I don't have spaces, like in this case, if I say this is our string. If I say this is our string which consists space in front as well and back as well. So if I say, okay, just check from start either or back, I need to find what is the first word from the last and return its size. So if they are asking me the last word, okay, they are asking me the last word from the string, so I can simply iterate from the left. Okay, what I can do, okay, I'll say, okay, I iterate from where? I iterate from left. So this is my left position. First, I'll check whether it's a space or not. If it is not a space, I'll keep on incrementing. You can say the count of a character. Okay, count of characters, and I'll decrement my position, or you can say size. If current size was 11, I'll say okay, reduce this size to 10, 9. If we are getting our character over here, once we get some space, I'll say okay, if it is space and we have found some character before, simply return its size. Okay, because after this, it will be creating a new character. After space, it will be creating a new word using some character. I'll say, okay, if I have found a word before spaces, if I'm coming from last, simply return this size. What if we have this example? If I found the space, I'm just checking for any, if there is any word I have just encountered before this, I'll say no. Just keep on incrementing, or you can say keep on decrementing. I'm just going from left, like last to first, or you can say right to left. I'm going. So I'll check whether this is a space or not. If it is space, and I'll see if the count of a character or word I have got, what is the size? Or you can say whether I got a word or not. I'll simply say, okay, iterate here, iterate here, iterate here till I am following which two condition. First, you can say if our, you can say length of a word does not equals to 0, and or you can say length of a word equals to 0. Until this is fine, I'll just keep on shifting from right to left. Okay, I'll just reduce my size, or you can say reduce my position from last to first using this first condition, and second condition it's if it is not a space. Okay, so I have two conditions, whether it is not a space or it is not a like we haven't found any character. I simply say just keep on moving this pointer. Okay, so this is our approach. But if you see, we have this spaces from back and front as well. How can I ignore this part? What I can do, either I can iterate over the spaces first. I'll use some while loop. I'll say, okay, iterate till I'm getting spaces. Once I'll get some character, I'll use my logic to store its size. So there can be like how many example? There can be one example. You can say there can be one example like we have normal string like hello. Okay. There can be some example like we have some spaces, then hello. Okay, there can be example like hello, then some spaces, and we have some example like you can say some space, hello, some space, or you can say I have some space in between. Okay, there is some word, you can say there is some hello, I have space, and I have word. Okay, so this can be my five type of like example. Either I have just a word, or I have some trailing, or you can say leading spaces, or I have a trailing spaces. Either I have both, or I have spaces in between. So what I need to do, I just need to iterate from left until I'm getting the characters. All the trailing spaces I'll remove from left if I don't have any character at right. So what I need to do, if I don't have character on the right, I'll just iterate over this and I'll just ignore this part. So I can do this using one while loop till I'm getting the character and I don't have any character. See, till I'm getting spaces and I don't have any character before, I'll just keep on shifting my pointer. Like I'll from here, I'll come here, from here, I'm come here. So once I get some character, I'll just start my counter of like how many characters are there. So I can use one while loop to remove these spaces. I can use second while loop to count the characters in a word. But even that I can like optimize it further. What I can do, okay, I'll start from here. until I'm getting some word, I'll keep incrementing, you can say count, or you can say if I have this word, I'll say okay, word plus plus, word I got, word plus plus. So for size, if I say for this particular example, my size is 1. If I'm at this character, if I include this character, my size become 2. For this, my size become 3. For this, my size become 4. For this, my size become 5. So until now, I have as a 5 character size, you can say word from last. If I found this space, I'll simply return 5 because I already have some word before this, after this spaces. Suppose this was my example, I have spaces. I'll not return anything, I'll just keep on shifting because I don't have any previous character. And once I found the previous character, I'll find all the size over it. So let me take that example and I'll show you with some code. So what I can do, I can simply, okay, let me show you the very basic example. Okay, if I am allowed to use the inbuilt function, so I can store that some, you can say if this is a word, I'll simply pass like split, split using some space. What it will return me, if I say this returns me a character delimited by all the space. So I have this character. If I return nothing from here, return 0. So 0 here. Okay. So if I show you, this gives me an array which is like for all this character, if you see hello world divided into two parts. If I say this divided into like how many parts? These many parts, because I use one space as a delimiter. You can see all those got removed, which is in a one character. If I say this to a two character, so here if you see these two have two characters. So I'm not sure how many characters will come. So okay, I'll use my own logic. What? I'll just keep on iterating from left. So I'll say there will be some size of a character. So I'll say for now the word size is 0 for now. And if I say I need to start my, you can say, some pointer. So for now I'll say okay, end will be at some index. You can say it will be till size of string minus 1. So my end position will be at last index. I'll say okay, iterate till end become, you can say, less than equals to 0. Okay, so I'll iterate. Okay, I'll say till it is greater than equals to 0. I'll say okay, end will be decrementing each time. I'm just iterating from back. At last I'll return my size. Okay, this is my size. Now my main logic comes here. I'll say if my last character, okay, if my last character means is character at end index equals to space for now, I'll say if it is a space, I'll check if my size is equals to, or you can say does not equals to 0. I have some character before, so I'll say simply either break, I'll say simply either break, or I'll simply can return from here, return our length. Okay, return our what? Length, or you can say size for now. Else, I have second case. If it is not a space but a character, I'll say okay, size, just increase that word size. So I'll say okay, that word will be one more character long. So this will be my simple logic. I'll simply check whether it is running fine or not. So this is saying me invalid syntax. Why? I have, okay, I just need to increment one by one. Where is it? Okay. So let me remove this. Okay, I'll simply run. So let me check. It is fine. So let me submit this code. Okay, so I can see this code runs fine, and that's all for today. Thanks for watching.